Hey guys, Aidandabest, you're all gonna know video, and today I'll be joined by Jacob Booter, aka Jacob Butter.
Well met, lords and ladies.
And we're gonna be talking about the season finale entitled Fatal Error.
What? It
Entitled
says
Fatal
fatal
Error.
error. Not,
Fatal Error.
you just
Yeah.
try and do an Australian accent? Fatal error or something.
No, I didn't do that. You did. No!
Okay. Just as well, because that's interesting. Oh well. Anyway, fatal, fatal, whatever you want to call it. It was certainly something. There's a lot to cover and little time to do so. Actually, we've got all the time in the world I want to talk about.
Yeah.
All right,
So.
so I guess start from the very beginning. Um,
Alright, so this episode basically starts off with a little scene of basically um people who Lux captured just discussing in the back of the van, like oh
yeah, if you
yeah.
want to go from the very beginning, of course we got the merch release, but no one counts
Oh
that. No
yeah.
one cares about the backpack. But yes, we have a lot of people who lots have captured, and we have also people trying to they were trying to formulate a plan and hope that Tari gets out of the server, and then of course Tari's resumed battle with Evelyn.
Yes, and that battle was pretty cool to watch. I liked that battle. So
It
yeah.
certainly was cool to watch. However, yeah, some. I mean, it does end pretty much as you expect, but not the way that not the methodology. Of course, it's always what's interesting with the battles because you kind of always know who's going to win with these things in general, not just with Meta Runner. Because I've got that because it does end with basically yet another glitch in the game, um, which was all about
I mean,
collision
at least they're
collision
using the
generation.
glitch and stuff. At least they're using the glitch factor. Although I'm a bit confused how
That's
Tari
true.
actually managed to actually send Theo outside the game. Like, how did Tari
Well, that's
gain
what
that
we did in the first
ability? Like, I
episode,
mean,
right?
yeah, but she. So originally when that happened, it was a complete accident because Lux was messing with her arm on when she was in the game, glitching it out, causing Theo to come into the real world.
Well, I mean, if anything, she also messed around with her arm in the game, causing Theo to come out into the world. She just did
Yeah,
it deliberately. That's the only difference.
yeah,
I guess it's a good question as to whether she would know how to do that because it wasn't her originally. How did she learn about that? Although, to be perfectly honest, and I'm not going to say why yet because I haven't covered that part, learning things is very integral to who Tari is, as we've just found out. I'll say no more for the time being. We'll go on to the next bit, which
yeah.
was
So basically, they try to pull episode 3 where they smack into the cars because Jacob may not have known this, but well, I know you watched season 1, but it's been a while since you've seen it. So in episode 4, I said episode 3. In episode 4, the way Lamar saved Tari originally was smashing straight into the car.
Oh, so that's why he mentioned about them upgrading the bands. Okay, got it.
Oh, you didn't get that yet. That was a reference to a previous event.
I thought it might have been, but then again, I wasn't the hugest fan of season one, so I was not inclined to retain any of it in my memory.
Yeah. So yeah,
But I
basically
take
we
it
have
back.
a very intense scene of basically revealing that they already exposed Lux, or at least I guess they sent it to someone so they could upload
Oh,
it at
hang
a
on. There's
later
one
date.
thing before that. Before that, we mentioned about Thea releasing the game. There's actually one thing that happens just before
Oh yeah,
before
we
Holly
that
herself
Spark was
exits the game.
confirmed as Lucidia.
Yes, that's. I mean, yeah, I'm embarrassed if I figured that out anyway. But
Well,
yes,
yeah,
it was indeed confirmed, and also indeed confirmed that yes, it seems that Lucinia herself has a bit of a memory loss, but and seemed to be, I guess, well, actually, very fittingly so, missing a few pieces of information about herself, including her name. Again,
yeah.
very on brand. I'm trying to stay on topic and go through in chronological order here, but I guess everything. Well, that's the point of a
Well,
final
I mean,
episode.
the
It's very
last
made
scene was like
together.
a good 9 minutes. Like the last scene of like the last, well, not 9 minutes, like 7 minutes was like the last like big Lux confrontation scene. It was actually a very intense scene.
Yes, that's true. From the upgraded Vans parts to those parts to Lux once again trying to weasel his way out, and also Lux revealing his own way that Lucinia was still alive. We as the audience knew that, but the characters, of course, were finding that out for themselves. And then And then, very conveniently, Tari is able to confirm that right there and then because of Lucinia's timely appearance in the actual game.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine if that hadn't happened, then they would have all thought the Lux was a liar, and then nothing would have come of it.
I
So
mean,
there you
that
go,
is
very opportune.
yeah, but I do like that, and I guess Tari's like a robot slash. I guess she's either a robot. I'm a bit confused what they did mean, or do they mean she's a literal program like Theo is?
Okay, so here's the thing. Yeah, so I haven't mentioned this yet because I've been holding back on that explanation. But yes, we do find out, but out through Lux, but also Vasini explained to Tari anyway that Tari's actual origin is the origin isn't one of an amnesiac. It's more of the fact that she was essentially raw because she is the result of an AI inside a body, and it's the most advanced AI in the world. So they're supposedly programmed to feel completely human, but also has fragments of Lucinia. So right there and then, actually, was when I decided I was going to press like on the video because it poses a very important ethical dilemma. Because as Tari said herself, that the way to bring Lucinia back, the thing that some of the characters have been striving for the entire series, involves sacrificing her, the person that they met on that journey for that specific goal. And I was not expecting that out of this series. I mean, it's not often that you get ethical dilemmas like that, and they don't respond to it, obviously, because season 3 is clearly going to happen because they have a cliffhanger. But I'm actually, for the first time, intrigued as to where this is going to go. So
Like,
kudos to them. I tip my hat.
yeah, but I mean, is there any way to get rid of the Lucidia, like to copy the Lucidia parts and give them to Lucidia, or is there even a
Honestly,
way around
I'm sure
it?
they're going to find a way. I'm sure
Yeah,
they're going to find a
but it
way,
is
unless
interesting.
it involves Tari's Eternity herself, in which case it'll probably end in a tragic sacrifice.
Yeah, but like,
That
is she a
depends. How
human?
dark are they
Like,
going to
I'm
go
still
with it?
confused. Is she actually human? Like, did her AI just go in a body, or did her AI form a body? I'm confused by that aspect.
Hmm. Yeah, see, the thing is, I remember that there was some sort of attempt to merge Lucinia with that AI in the first place, but which is probably why it's so integrally tied to video games and why she's so intrinsically good at them. But I think afterwards, what Lux was trying to say was that her body was actually created. It was created. I think. Well, I'm going to hope from actual from scratch. I'm gonna mention this briefly. I mean, obviously you're gonna roll your eyes when you hear me say this, but in Dragon Ball, there is something similar that
Uh,
happens.
it's
There is a
fine.
whole arc revolving around artificial humans, whether they're called cyborgs or androids, depends, errors of translation, yada
Android
yada.
6?
But essentially, Android 6. Well, Android 6 thing is original Dragon Ball. I'm
I
talking about
don't
Dragon
know.
Ball Z ready here.
I don't know
Yeah,
much about Dragon Ball. I know a bit about it.
I see. I'm thinking specifically about Android 17 and 18, created by Dr. Giro. And those ones are actually, well, they're not androids, really. They're actually cyborgs, but they're called androids because they're in a line of yada yada. Again. But yes, they actually were created from captured orphans. And they were experimented on by the doctor, Dr. Giro, and and then basically given different personalities. So they didn't know their names before, Lapis and Lazuli, and basically they were bent on destruction. Maybe with a good old fashioned round of killing Goku. But actually, no, he didn't get around to doing that with those two. They were rebellious teens, but with no other backgrounds. They didn't desire to find out anything about themselves. Really, it's just that's stuff that you can learn elsewhere. So if anything, it's a similar setup to that. Perhaps Tari is the unofficial Android 22. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, I am kind of glad they brought back Six Arms. I know I'm making a joke about it, but I don't know what his actual name is. Multi
I was
Arm.
going to ask you what his name was.
I
That
don't
was a good
know.
point. I will not.
It's been a while since I watched episode 3, and that's the only other episode he appeared in. I'm surprised he brought him back. I know they put him in the intro, but he didn't appear much this season.
Well, I mean that's true. He seemed like a one-off character at one point until of course the end. Although actually, let's see. The big mystery, of course, is why is he? Wait, hang on. His name was in the actual episode, like later on, or there was somebody's name in the episode. Like that's the last thing that was said. Sheridan, that's right. I've heard that name a bunch of times, but I keep forgetting about it.
Dr. Sheridan was the original doctor who caused Tari to get the powers and stuff. Well, become made
so
now.
Again, Doctor is...
Yeah,
so
I'm actually surprised that, like,
murdering people. This is Dragon Ball. This really is Dragon Ball.
Well,
now.
before the exact reveal, I was thinking that Dr. Sheridan, like, during that end credit scene, I was thinking before it was revealed, I was thinking, like, wait, Dr. Sheridan's the new bad guy. Ooh, new main villain. Hello. So yeah,
I suppose. I mean, if he was working for Task Force, they're not going to be all sunshine and rainbows. Not all of them, really.
But
Even Bell had a moment.
Yeah, honestly though, like I'm surprised that he could even give Elizabeth. Is her name Elizabeth? They're beginning her name Evelyn powers. Like, is that even possible? I mean, Tari's an AI in like a human-esque body, but she's a full-on human. How can he give her powers?
Wasn't the entire idea of the Lucinia experiment to imbue a human with those specific AIs? In fact, with that very same AI?
I mean, yeah, but last time he tried that, it ended up with Lucidia in a coma forever. Unless she could, obviously...
Well, I mean, if he's gone mad, he's become a mad scientist now, then surely he would want to try and finish his experiments.
Yeah. Although it does make sense why he would want to kill her. I mean, kill Lux, because... I imagine Lux would be really annoying to him.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, if Lux... Actually, that depends, because I'm sure Lux was coming from a business point of view. He was probably coming from a science point of view. It's a classic dynamic, but we don't actually know the reason yet. Although although it seems that Lux himself clearly figured it out at the end, because I do like his final line, actually. They stay super handless the entire time, and then well put, and then he gets shot. Like, it makes you wonder, who is he talking to? Because obviously he's not talking to Massa, he was talking to the person who hacked the Meta Runner arm, and he clearly knows. So actually, I mean, either it's going to be a bluff and it's not actually Sheridan who hacked Massa's arm specifically, but he actually has the ability to do so now.
No, he actually did. So if you look, and if you pay attention during that scene, so he had the helmet of one of the guys in the nightclub where Massa was playing video games, right? So he had one of those helmets, right? And we also see him in his fingers playing with a disc. Now, if you go to certain shots of Massa in there...
Massa's arm, you see a disc in there. Yeah, I saw the disc.
So
okay.
that pretty much confirms that he did it, you know?
I was going to say the other option is that it was indeed him, and that it was going to... And there's Lux's course hiding out even more secrets that we may not find out if he's dead. I mean, will. And
I think they're going to be done with Lux as a main villain, or at least a focus of a main villain and stuff. I feel like they're just going to kind of not focus on him much. They may give some passing mentions of him, but I don't feel like they're going to focus on him too much, besides the obvious trial of Massa being suspected of murder.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure that that they'll try and move on from him anyway as the main focus. But honestly, after watching My Street Season 6, I know that people can come back alive from being shot in either several places or once.
Listen, I think he's dead this time. I think this one character's dead. I don't think they're gonna resurrect him again. No more resurrection. I've dealt with it enough in stories. I'm done with resurrection. Besides in my own stories, I have quite a bit of resurrection. We don't talk about the resurrection in my stories. That's a different...
I hope not, but there's a possibility that I've had a track record of being terribly wrong with predictions in the past. I'm just saying there's a possibility. I'm not going to make a definitive statement.
So like the viewers won't notice, but during one of these episodes, I had a brief moment where I guessed, hey, what if... well, it was a brief discussion point we had at one point where, like, hey, maybe Tari's a robot, you know? Which, that's not true necessarily, but it's kind of true in a way, so yeah. But I did cut that from the episode that we mentioned it in, so the viewers obviously won't know that. But it was one of the ideas I had was briefly discussed.
Yeah, actually coming back to that, now I think about it, the human brain is a series of electrical impulses, right?
Yeah.
So really, to be perfectly honest, that as the AI of Tari is very inside a brain, controlling those impulses across the chemical synapses actually almost by definition, as far as I can see, I'm no scientist, but as far as I can see, makes Tari human, created in a different way, but obviously completely sentient. I mean, artificial intelligence is just that, intelligence that is artificial. So it doesn't have to necessarily be excluded to the computerized versions that we all know now. I mean, if anything, that would make it the most advanced thing if it's able to mimic and also become a human brain. There's another possibility there. I'm glad this is actually raising questions now. We're not just pointing out dumb things. I don't think I've had a single like major complaint with this episode so far. I think it's actually like top of my actual favorite one.
Yeah. I don't know. I just felt like this episode is really a really solid finale and a really dramatic finale. And I'm excited for season 3. I mean,
You know what? I didn't think I would say this at the start of this review series, but so am I.
yay, character
I've gone through an arc as well.
development! You have developed.
I know. I myself went through a character arc as we reviewed these.
Exactly.
Which means everyone should go back and watch the players to see that progression right now. There you go, I did a plug for you.
Yay! Anyways, though, we will do a season overview review probably, is my plan.
Okay.
But, yeah. But that will probably happen at least for me after I watch it a few times and get an overview of the season, what's pros and cons and stuff, is something I want to do. So yeah, that probably will happen.
Okay.
That probably will happen. So yeah. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Bye guys!